Hello, everyone. Once again, thanks for joining this session with me. So, I'm Nivas from Vembu Technologies. So, I'm working as a senior analyst here. So, I'm the one who is going to take care of this particular webinar. I'm also having Mr. Pranav with me. So, he's my colleague and he's also working for the product management team. So, he's a co-organizer for this webinar. So we both of you welcome everyone to the session. So, with this, we'll get started with the topic for today's webinar. So before getting further, I would like to let you know the ground rules for this session. So this webinar is being recorded, and you can find the recorded copy of this session in a couple of days in the Vembu website. You can just go to vembu.com/webinar and you can find the recorded copy. And so all the attendees are automatically in listen-only mode. Okay, so you'll be automatically muted on entry. However, if you have any questions, so you can just type in your questions in the Q&A box. So Pranav will try to answer all your questions in the session itself. If not, we will try to send a response to you by an email. And after this session, you can find the recorded copy in the Vembu website. So with this, we will directly jump into the topic for today's webinar. So before that, I would just like to give a small introduction about the Vembu technologies. So to the audience who are new to this session, so Vembu Technologies is the company behind Bds Suite. So Bds Suite is a brand that focuses on delivering backup and disaster recovery software for businesses of every size. So we started in the year 2004, and we are a privately held company and registered in USA. So we have 15 plus years of experience in developing the backup and disaster recovery solution for various IT environments, and we set our footprint over 100 plus countries with over 60,000 plus businesses is using our suite of software. So there's a small introduction about the Bds Suite, and Bds Suite is partnered with various technology vendors across the globe. Like you can see, so we are a gold partner of Microsoft, VMware, NetApp, HP, Red Hat, and AWS. And Bds Suite is trusted by the top brands across the globe. Here you can see NASA, Intel, Cisco, Philips are using Bds Suite to protect their business critical data in their environment. So with this, we just directly jump into the topic for today's webinar. So the topic for today's webinar is why the data protection is important for Microsoft 365 data. So today, so everyone is jumping into this hybrid work model or remote work model. The possibility for data loss is very high. And so Microsoft 365 is one of the highly targeted cloud services by the ransomware attackers and users with other malicious intentions. So in this webinar, we are going to explain the shared responsibility model of Microsoft 365 and how you can protect your Microsoft 365 data from the various data threats. Okay, so this is the topic for today's webinar, and this is the listed agenda. So first, we'll see the shared responsibility model of Microsoft 365. Then we'll see the modern threats to your Microsoft 365 data and the importances of Microsoft 365 backup, the best practices to protect your Microsoft 365 data, and how Vembu BDR helps in protecting your Microsoft 365 data. So Bds Suite has a product called Bds Suite for Microsoft 365 that is designed to protect all your data across Microsoft 365 platform. At the end, I will show a small demonstration that explains how you can sign up and how you can leverage on BDR 365 to protect your data from threats. Now, at the end, so if the time permits, so we can have a Q&A session and we can discuss everything in detail. First, before getting further, we'll just see the benefits of Microsoft 365. So Microsoft 365 is one of the cloud-based productivity suite. So that comes with the various advantages. So the first is you can work from anywhere. So as it is a cloud-based, so you don't need to go to our offices or a specific domain to log into this Microsoft 365 suite. So it gives an immense advantages of logging from anywhere, and you can continue with your work. And it provides one of the easiest way to collaborate the documentation or other things with your colleagues or other budding users. And with this being totally hosted on cloud, you don't need to spend too much of your capitals on setting up the infrastructure to host these services. You'll be saving a lot on your capital investment when you are planning to choose Microsoft 365 as the productivity suite for your employees. And yeah, it eliminates the usage of hardware, so you don't need a expert to take care of all your hardware, and you don't need to care about maintaining your hardwares in-house. And yeah, you don't, again, the next one is the up-to-date updates from Microsoft. Whenever the Microsoft is pushing a new feature or bug fixes, it will be automatically rolled out to everyone across the globe. You don't need to manually download and install the updates, and you don't need to wait for any downtime here for updating your product suite. So these are the some of the advantages that I listed here, but Microsoft 365 comes with a lot of advantages that is enabling users to switch to the cloud-based productivity tools like this. And they're creating a benchmark on the productivity tool. However, do you think Microsoft take care, for example, if you subscribe to Microsoft 365 and you are creating the mailboxes and you're using Teams for the meetings, everything, do you think Microsoft is taking care of everything, every data that you're created on Microsoft 365 is being protected? That's a question here. So for this, Microsoft itself gave an answer, that is the shared responsibility model. Here, the data protection, the data responsibility is split between two major persons. So one is the customers who are subscribing and using the Microsoft 365, and the next is from the Microsoft itself. Okay, so the customers has to take care of the user activities. For example, creating an account, creating the data and maintaining the data comes under the customer responsibility. And the data, like, yeah, so whether you are deleting the data, creating or updating, that also comes under the customer responsibility. And if any threats, for example, if you're using Microsoft 365 mails, if you're getting any phishing mails, if that phishing mail affects the other users or the particular user data, then again, it's not the responsibility of Microsoft 365. It comes under the responsibility of customer. Here, Microsoft take care of the application that they are using for the various productivity tools, and its uptime, the network infrastructure, and everything. So other things which you are not seeing in the front end, the things that are lying in the back end, are taken care by Microsoft. So they are promising and 99.99% of uptime for the applications that you're using, but they are not responsible for the data or the threats that are developed against the data. Okay, this is the shared responsibility model, and it's quite straightforward. So it's not only the Microsoft, whichever cloud-based or public cloud tool that you're using, this is the same. Even it is same for the AWS. AWS also adopt shared responsibility model, where the AWS, Amazon takes some of the responsibility, where some of the responsibility lies between the customers. Okay, yeah. So if this is the straightforward thing, then how you can protect your data from Microsoft 365? Okay, yeah. Here we are going to see. Before that, we'll see the major threats to your Microsoft 365. Yeah. You're hosting everything on cloud. So do you think everything is safe there? Then yeah, again, so the answer to the questions lies here. First one is the accidental deletion. So human errors are common. Every person in the earth makes mistake, and sometimes this can be recoverable and sometimes it cannot be recoverable. So that's the thing here, accidental deletion. So you deleted some of the important files or mails from your computer, and you realized that you realized that you deleted this accidentally after 2 or 3 months. At the time, you will not be able to restore the data. Yeah, Microsoft provides a recycle bin, but the recycle bin that allows you to restore the data maximum of 30 days from the date that you were deleted. If it exceeds 30 days, you will not be able to restore the data from your recycle bin itself. And yeah, so assume that you have deleted some important file and you realize that you have deleted it accidentally 6 months before. At the time, it's very difficult to restore the data from the recycle bin. It's quite impossible to restore at the time. So that's why. So that's one of the major threat. So we will not be able to restore the data which is deleted 30 days before. And the second one is the retention policy cap. Yeah, this is what I'm trying to say. So the retention policy of Microsoft is 14 days, the default retention policy. However, you can expand it to 30 days. If something is deleted before 30 days, you will not be able to restore it. So this is the retention policy gap. And legal compliances. So in some regions in some of the countries, the government itself is implying policies to retain the data for some period of time, or else if there is some any legal cases, you want to produce the data that was deleted some 6 months before. At the time, you may not be able to show the deleted data. And internal threats also, some of the employees, so they intentionally deleted some of the critical data. It happens in many organizations, and yeah, so this is one of the threat for your Microsoft 365. So what if a malicious user from your organization deleted the data, so to reduce the reputation of the organization. So this is the internal threat. And external threat again. So a lot of threats comes to your organization from outside. The hackers, the malware attackers. So they are every day. The new malwares are being created. New attacks are being sent against many companies. Yeah, so you have to protect your data from the external threats. And migration. For example, if you want to migrate from one subscription to another subscription plan, yeah, and you want to migrate from your on-premise thing to cloud, or from one region to another. So these are the some of the major threats to your Microsoft 365 data, even though it is hosted in a highly secure cloud like Microsoft. So what happens if the data, your Microsoft 365 data, is deleted or lost, not intentionally, if not just like accidentally deleted? So it damages the reputation of your organization. Assume that you are storing all the data in your OneDrive cloud, OneDrive storage. Assume that one day you're coming and opening your OneDrive and it's just empty. Okay, all the customer data that you are storing there is lost. And assume that you lost some of the transaction communication that you have made with your customers or with your clients. Again, then you don't have any history of things to again start a conversation with your customer. That damages the reputation of your organization, and it then leads to the economic loss. So if something happened, it virally spread across the media, and the people who are invested in your company and trusting using your product loses trust on your product, and they just move to a different product, switch to a different product. That leads to the economical loss of your organization. Obviously, if something went wrong, it may sometimes leads to legal ramification. So these are the consequences of the data loss, even though it is small or big. So it happens at any time, and you want to stay protected all the time. And yeah, so these are some of the industry best practices to protect your data from these kinds of the internal and external threats. First of all, you have to train your employees properly. So you have to clearly explain the do's and don'ts with the business critical things, like not to open the phishing mails and not to open some spam emails. So you have to give a proper training with the examples to them, so that they will get an awareness of what it will cost to the businesses. That you have to give a proper training to your employees, and then you need to create a backup. Okay, so you cannot predict a data loss, or you cannot predict a malware attack. So you have to be always ensure that you have created a backup, and this backup should be accessible. So note that you have created a backup, but this backup is not available immediately. So it may take 5 or 6 days to arrive to your location. Then it's not a good solution. So you need to make sure that you have created a backup, and that backup should be easily accessible. Next one is the 3-to-1 backup rule. Sometimes, so the backup may also get corrupted. For this, you need to set up 3-to-1 rule. So 3-tone rule is nothing but you need to have 3 copies of your data, business critical data, stored in 2 different locations, at least with 1 copy at cloud. So this is the 3-tone backup. So this is not only applicable for the Microsoft 365, it is applicable for all the critical data that your business is dealing with. So next is, you need to create a plan, you need to create a backup and DR plan, and you need to keep on updating the plan. First, you test the plan, just make sure whether the plan that you have created is working or not. If there is any changes that required, so you have to update the changes, and again you have to test the plan. So this is going to be a feedback loop that you have to update the plan, test the plan, update it, and the solution that you are choosing for the backup or disaster recovery, right, that should be scalable. So now that assume you're having only 1 terabyte of data that is very critical to you. In 1 or 2 months your business grows, the data also grows. At the time, the solution that you chose for the backup or disaster recovery should not stop with protecting the 1 TB of data that you start with the day when you begin the company. So the solution that you use for backup and disaster recovery should also scale as your business. Okay, so these are the industry best practices that you need to keep in mind while choosing any data protection software for your business. It's not only for Microsoft 365, so whatever data you are protecting, so you need to keep this in mind when selecting the right solution. Okay, so now comes to how Bds Suite helps. So Bds Suite has been in this market for 2004. So we are from the day one, Microsoft introduced this Office 365 suite. Now it is Microsoft 365. So we have the threats that are being caused to this Office 365 environment. And so we developed a solution that helps businesses to protect their critical data from Microsoft 365. And this is this. So I'm introducing the Bds Suite for Microsoft 365 to you. So it's a solution that allows you to protect your mails, contacts, calendars, OneDrive, groups, SharePoint online, Teams online from your Microsoft 365. So it also allows you to back up all the user data, all the users in your domain, or not all the users requires a backup, only some important users requires a backup. Then you have all the flexibility to choose the users that you want to protect. And it also gives a flexibility to store the backup data anywhere. You can store the backup data on your on-premise storage medium, or you can leverage the Vembu cloud to store your backup data. And even if you have any public cloud storage subscriptions like an AWS S3 or Microsoft Azure Blob, you can use them as a repository to store your backup data. And if something goes wrong, you can just restore from anywhere. And when coming to restore, again, so we again give a granularity to restore the data as you want. So you can just restore the entire mailbox, or you can just restore a particular mails from a folder like inbox or outbox or sent items. Or if you just want to restore a particular files from OneDrive, you can restore it. And you can also export this in multiple file formats like PSD or YAML, VCF, Mbox. So we recently introduced Mbox in our latest version. So this allows you to export the backup data into multiple file formats, and you can use it for different purposes. So this is the Bds Suite for Microsoft 365. So these are the things that is supported by Bds Suite for Microsoft 365. These are platforms that we support now. So we support your mailbox backup, calendar, contacts, OneDrive, Exchange Online, SharePoint Online, Teams Online, and Microsoft Groups. And we are about to support the other platforms from the Microsoft 365 in the upcoming versions of Bds Suite. So the advantage of using a third-party software like Bds Suite. So it allows you to store the backup data on local or cloud, and you have complete control of your Microsoft 365 data. Okay, so you have, and you can define your own retention policy. You are not limited only with the 30 days. So you can set your retention policies for years. And with this kind of third-party software, so you can easily meet the compliance regulations like GDPR or HIPAA compliances, you can easily meet these kind of regulations. So with this, I'm just concluding this presentation. So I'm having a small demo setup with me. So I would like to share my screen and explain how the Bds Suite works in action. So just give me a minute, I will take you to the page. Yeah, so we'll see how to get started with Vembu, the Bds Suite. Okay. First of all, you need to just download. So the Bds Suite for Microsoft 365 is available in two different models. One is as an on-premise backup solution. You just need to have a server and you need to install the BDS server software into the computer, and then you can take a backup of your data and store the backup data on your local storages or your public cloud. Or else BDS Suite for Microsoft 365 is available as a SaaS application under the Cloud BDS Suite, where there is no any local server setup or storage setup is required. You can just sign up for a Cloud BDS account, and you'll be able to back up the data and store the backup data onto the Vembu's cloud. Okay, so these are the two different availability of Microsoft Bds Suite for Microsoft 365. So we'll see. So if you want to store this backup data onto your on-premise, then so Bds Suite backup and applications is the right solution. So just click on Bds Suite for Microsoft 365 or click on this download button. It will take you to the page where you can download the Bds Suite backup server. So just download it. So it will be like some 800 MB of software. You can just download and install it on your Windows computer. Alternatively, we also support Linux installation, so just download and install it on your computer. Yeah, with this, it's pretty simple and straightforward installation. So once the installation gets completed, you need to go and configure the storage repository. So I will show that screen also to you. So I have installed the Bds Suite server in one of my computer. So you're seeing that screen. So yeah, it's a web-based console, so you can access this console from your browser itself just by entering the IP address of the machine followed by the port number. Yeah, you'll get a login screen like this. So just provide the username and password to log in into this application. So you'll be specifying these credentials during the installation. Yeah, just let this application log in. So once you log in, you can see a screen. So this is the dashboard where you can see all the backup jobs. Here you can see, right? So this is a single software suite that allow you to configure the backup for your entire IT infrastructure from this console itself. Here you can see the backup for VMware, Hyper-V, Windows and Linux. You can configure the backup for AWS, Microsoft 365, Google Workspace, endpoints, and application and database from here itself. Again, it's pretty simple and straightforward. When you click onto this particular tab, so it will take you to the steps where you can just follow the on-screen instruction and configure the backup for your Microsoft 365 or whatever entity that you want to protect. And yeah, it's simple. First, after this application installation, so you have to just go to this backup server menu and you have to configure the storage repository. Like I said earlier, so you can use your on-premise storage medium to store your backup data, or you can use it object storages. Like we support now we support like AWS S3 and S3 compatible storages. Like if you have Minio or Wasabi, so you can use them. Then you can use your Microsoft Blob also. So these are the multiple destinations that you can use to store your backup data. So yeah, with this first you have to configure. Yeah, so these are the basic things, and then you're good to go with the backup configuration for your Microsoft 365 data. So just click on this Microsoft 365 tab. So here's the, I actually configured 2 backups, but for you to get started, it's pretty simple. So just click on this data source, click on add Microsoft 365 organization. Okay. Then you can see this option, right? Add Microsoft 365 organization. So just click on this option. So you'll be shown 3 options here. Like you can use our automated process to add your Microsoft 365 account, or you can use the manual process. So you just need to do some 4 to 5 steps in this manual process. Or else, so we'll help you to create a PowerShell script. So when you execute the PowerShell script from your computer, it will automatically establishes the connection between the Microsoft 365 and the Bds Suite applications. So these are the 3 different ways And yeah, so when you click on this particular thing and click on next, it will automatically shows everything in the on-screen instruction itself. Okay. And if, for example, if you just want to do it manually, then you can do it manually. Just I'll show the step for the PowerShell script also. Just click on add, then click on this add Microsoft 365 organization using this PowerShell script. Then click on next. Here, right, you will be we have provided every instruction here itself. So you just have to follow the instructions and you will be able to add your Microsoft 365 organization to the Bds Suite server. So yeah, this is how you can add your Microsoft 365 organization. I have already added two of my organization for the demo purpose here. Okay, and yeah, so once you've added, you can create a config. You can configure the backup for the entities. Now just click on the backup and click on configure backup. Just click on Microsoft 365. So you need to give a backup, a name for your backup job before you proceed further, and you need to choose the repository type, in which repository you want to store your backup data. So it can be block storage repository. Like if you want to store the backup data on on-premise storage medium, just select the block storage and just choose one of the repository where you want to store the backup data. Or else if you want to store the backup data in cloud, then choose this object storage and just give a description to identify this backup job. Then click on next. So here you need to select the organization and the objects you wish to protect. First, I've added two organizations, right? Just select one of the organization that requires a backup. Okay. Then you can select to backup the entire organization, or if you just want to select the individual objects, just select the objects manually. So I'm selecting all the objects, then click on next. So here you need to specify the user that requires a backup. Either you can select the backup for all the users, or you can select the specific users. So you just need to specify the users that requires backup. Okay, and here you also have an option for exclusion. If you just want to exclude any folders or files, you can exclude from them. Then click on next. So it will take you to the group mailbox. So if you have any group mailbox, if you just want to back up the group mailbox or group drive, so you can choose from them. Again, here also all the options, you can specify to back up all the group or back up a specific group. And then just select the group mailbox that you want to protect. Then click on next. It will take you to the SharePoint. It will list out all the SharePoints available in your Microsoft 365 organization. You can just select the SharePoint sites. So yeah, you can just create everything in a single job, or you can create a multiple backup job for every objects in this item. So you can just create a separate mail backup job for SharePoint, a separate job for Teams. So that's totally up to you. So then it's a Teams. So if you just want to backup your Teams, select all the Teams item that you want to backup. So here you will be provided with an option to search the items. Yes, actually I'm having 67 items. I don't need to scroll to all the items. I can just enter the terms and search. It will just display the items as per your search. You can just select the item and proceed further. Then you need to select the scheduling. So scheduling, yeah, so you have two options. The first one is the incremental schedule. So you need to select the frequency, how frequently you want to backup, and the time for the backup. So you have multiple options here. Like you can run the backups manually, or you can run it for every few hours, daily or weekly. And here at the bottom of the screen, you need to provide an option for the retry attempts. If the backup fails for any reason, how many times it want to try again, and how frequently it want to try again. Okay, so that you have to specify here. Then click on next. So it's a setting page where you need to specify the compression and retention settings. So the compression settings, so if you want to compress the data while storing onto the repository, yes, just select the compression. It will considerably compress the data before storing it to the storage repository. And just click on next. It will take you to the retention. So here you need to specify for how long period you want to retain the data. So you have, again, total flexibility here. Just enable the retention for the incremental backups. So if you didn't enable the retention, the data will be retained forever. So, but if you have some period in your mind, you can just come and specify that retention policy here. For example, if you use a mailbox, you want to restore the mailbox for 12 months, you can specify here and it should be customizable here. Okay, here likewise you have a separate retention policy for the mailbox and also for the group mailbox. Then click on next. So that's all. So here you just need to review the configuration. Once the configurations, you're okay with the configuration, just click on save the backup. So it will create a new backup job for you. The backup will run as per the schedule. Okay, and yeah, coming to recovery. Okay, so you configure the backup and something happened to the mailbox or some of the OneDrive items are deleted and you want to restore them. So how you restore? Again, restoring the backup items is pretty simple and straightforward. Just click on recovery. Yeah, you will see the backup jobs that are created for this on your organization. Just select the backup that you want to restore. And here it shows 4 options. You just want to restore the mailbox or group mailbox, SharePoint or Teams. So just select the restore the mailbox. So this is the domain I want to restore. And you will be shown the multiple timestamp. I'm just choosing one of the timestamp. Then you need to choose the mailbox. I'm having only one mailbox in the test backup. So just select the mailbox that requires that you need to restore. And here you need to choose the data that you want to restore. Whether you want to restore the mailbox or the mails, okay, or you want to restore the OneDrive, only a particular OneDrive item, or you want to restore the event or calendar event or contact. So you can restore based as per the requirements. And here you also see the granularity. It's not like that just you want to restore the entire folder. You have an option to restore the particular mails also. So just click on this arrow. It will show all the mails. So you can just view the mail or you can just select a particular mail and restore. So I'm just selecting some group of mails here or a particular folder. Just choose 2 or 3 folder. Then if you want to restore OneDrive items, select the folders that you want to restore. So I'm just selecting this folder and then click on next. So here you need to provide an option whether you want to restore to the same user mailbox from where the data is originally backed up, or if you want to restore to different user also you can use, or you can just export the selected data in a different file format that you require. So you have a same user mailbox, just give the description and proceed with the restore. Or else if you want to choose a different user means you need to select the user from to which you want to restore. Or else you can specify the option to download in multiple file formats. Okay, so these are the different options available. So yeah, just click on review and just click on the restore. The data will be restored as per the target that you selected. Okay, so this is how you can easily backup and restore your Microsoft 365 data. So it's pretty simple and straightforward. And yeah, coming to reports, so you can see everything in detail. So you can see the job schedule reports as per the schedule. You can see all the data in every information. You can see it in detail. Either if you want to just download the logs, you can download the logs, or if you want to see a more detailed information, so you can just go to this historical report and see what happens in each and every schedule. And yeah, not only with this report, you can also see the object or user level report, what happened to a single user. So I have configured the backup for only this item, right? You can see the item level report only for that mailbox. You can just download the logs. You can see it here. It's the group mailbox, the SharePoint items, Teams. So everything you can see it in detail. And if you want to just download the logs for more information. And you can get the data recovery. If you have performed any recovery, so you can see all the reports of the past recoveries that you have done. And you will be also getting an option to schedule an email notification. So here are the various criteria for the notification. You have to first configure the SMTP, and once the SMTP is configured, so you can just specify the email, the target email, recipient email here, and click on save. So based as per the selection you have made, you'll be receiving the mails on time on to your mailbox. So these are the various reporting and email notification items that comes with this application. And yeah, so apart from this, it comes with a lot of functionalities, which I cannot explain in this webinar itself. For this, to test this on your own, so we gave a 30 days free trial. So this product comes with a 30 days no restriction trial. You just go to Vembu.com, download the product and test the product for 30 days. And this also has a free edition that allows you to back up to 10 users for free without any restrictions, major restrictions. If you want to just backup, if you're a startup or if you just are a home user, just want to back up 1 or 2 mailboxes, then you can offer a free edition also. So all the information related to this Microsoft 365, you can find it in our website. Just go to Vembu.com, click on the product, click on Microsoft 365. You can find all the information here. However, if you need any additional information, don't hesitate, just click on request a demo or send a mail to vembu-sales@vembu.com or vembu-support@vembu.com. So we are just a mail away to clarify all your queries. And yeah, if you have any questions, so you can also just dial our numbers from the website. Okay, so yeah, again you can see all the help information in the application itself. Here you can see the user guide, direct link to the user guide, and you can see you can contact our support, or yeah, everything you can do it from this application itself. So I hope everyone get a good understanding of the importance of protecting your data and how Vembu Bds Suite helps in protecting your Microsoft 365 data. So if you have any questions, so you can just type all the questions in the question box. Actually, so we are getting a lot of questions, and Mr. Pranav is answering to all these questions now. Okay, if you're not able to answer them immediately in this session, please don't worry. So we will be sending an email to you with the proper response. Okay. Yeah. So after this webinar, so everyone will be redirected to the Vembu website. If you want, you can just download the product and try it on your own. So yeah, so in the screen you can see. So yeah, if you have any questions, you can just ask your questions. And yeah, so these are the numbers that I mentioned. So you can just contact our support. So you can find the new numbers on the website. You can just, so these numbers are a bit old. So you can just drop a mail to us, or else you can just go to Vembu.com and you can find the new numbers and you can contact us at any time. So this is the web page for Microsoft 365 Backup. So yeah, you can find all the information in this web page. If you have any question, yeah, please feel free to contact us at any time. So we are available 24/7. So we are one of the backup software vendor. And yeah, we are named as a leader by G2 Crowd in the recent. We are continuously named as a leader for the 6th time in row by the G2. And yeah, so you can find various what's been in the websites.